explain what he was, they called him a holy thing. Somebody shout a holy thing. There's a holy thing down inside of you. A holy thing in a human thing. A holy thing and a human thing, roommates in the same house. Treasure in the trash. While some people specialize on pointing out the trash, I came to point out the treasure. While some people are specializing on talking about how human you are, I came to let you know that you're the righteousness of God and there's a holy thing down inside of you. While some people want to focus on how weak you are, I want the weak to say that I'm strong. There's something down inside of you that's strong. If you can tap into it, it'll change your life. The reason the enemy was fighting over Job, because the enemy knew that there was something down in Job that was effective. That's what it means to be anointed. It is to be effective. I want to get this clear. Let's get this straight tonight. Being anointed has nothing to do with the style in which you preach. Tuning up doesn't mean you're anointed. I've seen people who could tune, and didn't have a bit of power. They had a lot of voice, let's not confuse style with anointing. Style can be cultural. It can be a result of your personality. It can be a result of your personal expression. It can be how you do a thing. But being your style is not necessarily anointed. There are people who speak very quietly and very succinctly, but they are very anointed. And the problem with this generation today, we are imitating people's style. Because people think that if they do it like you do it, they're going to have what you have. But your power is not in your style. It's in the anointing that makes you effective. Slap somebody, tell them this is your year to be effective. Don't worry about style. Don't worry about presentation. Don't worry about protocol. Don't worry about what people think about you. God's going to make you effective. You're not going to have to imitate somebody else and act like something you're not. God's going to make you effective. God's going to use what he gave you and make you effective. The enemy doesn't mind you being loud or quiet, teaching or preaching, hooping or silent. I hear the church arguing about big churches and small churches. It doesn't make any difference the size of the building you got. The utter issue is, are you effective? Throw your hands up and say, Lord, make me effective. If I'm a witness, I want to be an effective witness. If I'm a teacher, I want to be an effective teacher. If I'm a leader, I want to be an effective leader. If I'm a father, I want to be an effective father. If I'm a mother, I want to be an effective mother. Whatever you are, you want to be effective. Somebody say, Lord, make me effective. One must ask themselves, what do I need to do to be effective? Now, you might take issue with this, but I don't particularly want to hear somebody sick teach me about healing. I don't want to hear somebody broke teaching me about prosperity. I don't want to hear
extended release